I start these things? Hey guys, everyone.
Ain't it fun? Living in the real world.
This hurts. Hey everyone, it's Bria Deshawn, and welcome back to another episode of Growing Pains, where we're growing our purpose, our achievements, our independence, our nourishment, and our success. Today, joined on the couch with me for Kiki is a content creator, a boss, one who has been all eyes to be in the rooms and projects that we all see on TV. He is more than just a viral video, but the viral moment of our generation. That's good. I just came up with that. My first friend in LA, y'all. Everyone clap your hands for Austun Reed.
Bria was my first friend out in LA. We filmed an episode of Kev on Stage's
That's Cap.
That's what it was. That's Cap. Back in January of 2023.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
So talk to me about your time in DC. What was Austun like in high school?
At school, I was very proactive in terms of, again, student government, things like that. I ran track as well. I was a church boy. My dad was the Pathfinder director. My mom was the youth leader. So I was at church 7 days a week, and I led out a praise team and all that stuff. So
Amen.
If I wasn't at church, I was at school. If I wasn't at school, I was on the track.
Oh, period. You've had a clothing line in high school, or
wow, she did her research.
Listen, I got a degree in journalism. We're gonna use it on today, huh?
Yes, I had a clothing line. I still technically have it because the LLC is still in my name.
Okay.
I'm rebranding right now, so it might come back.
He has businesses. Okay.
The Urban Tea Company LLC was founded back in 2017. Actually, 2016. That's how I paid the bills in high school, literally.
Did you keep up with that in college, though?
I did. That's I was able to get my first car, first big boy car. I bought it off the lot, 2020. It had 7 miles on it. I bought that with the money that I saved up for my t-shirt line. And in my senior year of college, we had a banquet or whatever. It was an award show as well, and I won Best Business on campus. And I didn't even know that they were gonna give that to me. So yeah.
Wow.
Pretty big deal.
That's kind of dope. Let's talk about your viral moments here.
Oh, let's talk about it.
So I was looking through your Instagram, and I saw a viral video during COVID.
Okay.
It was the teachers.
2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you're also a viral meme.
Yes.
Right?
Vashawn Mitchell. Yeah, that was my first viral video.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one came first.
That one.
And then the COVID one?
Yes.
Okay. Explain to me the first video. Explain to the people what it was.
The first time is still very
you didn't mean for it to happen.
Yes, I didn't mean for it to happen. So let's set the scene, right? It is my sophomore year of college. At this time, I was in a choir called Dynamic Praise. A gospel singer by the name of Vashawn Mitchell came to Oakwood University. And so, if you step on the Oakwood stage, you got to come correct. And Vashawn Mitchell, he's my guy, so I'm not bashing him. We're cool now. But he stepped on stage and he just didn't hit the note like the note needed to be hit. And I, as well as a lot of my colleagues in that choir, made a face, but I guess my face was called out, and somebody put it all over Twitter, and it got it. The thing about going viral is just once black people and black church folks get it, it's all over the place. It's been, I think, 6 years now. Still people are like, oh my goodness, you're the boy from that Vashawn Mitchell video. And when I moved out to LA, the first time I went to my church that I go to now, somebody noticed me. And they're like, you look super, super familiar. And I don't like to tell people that I was in that video, but they're like, you look super familiar, yada, yada, yada. They're like, didn't you go to Oakwood? I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's not it. They're like, I know there was something about, I feel it. Somebody told them that I was on the video. They ended up playing the video literally at church.
No, in front of the congregation?
Yes, in front of the congregation. And that video resurfaces probably twice every year. People always tag me. It's not embarrassing, but I'm just I just hate it.
How did they intro the video at church though? They're like, everybody, look who we have.
Yeah, basically, they're just like, have you guys seen this video? They're like, the boy is right there. He's right there. They're playing it. That viral video was very much a learning experience for me.
Okay.
Because I got a lot of hate from that video. Because people were like, oh, he wasn't professional. He should have not made a face. To capitalize on that moment, I put my face on a t-shirt and I started selling them. So people were mad about that. And they were like, he didn't even post a video and he's trying to capitalize off this viralness. And I'm like, somebody else posted my face and I'm not supposed to capitalize off of it? That's kind of crazy. It was a crazy moment. Looking back on it, I'm glad that I went through it early because there's been so many other viral videos that I've created and I've been able to brush off the hate or brush off the comments because I dealt with it early on already.
Do you find it pressure to like every time you create something, like it needs to be this like big spectacle thing?
Yes. I've been getting out of that habit. The interesting thing is everybody says this already, but every video that I post that goes viral, I literally don't expect it to go viral.
Right.
Honestly. But sometimes I do kind of like duplicate or replicate that recipe. I think in the authenticity of it all, you know, that's where the viralness comes. So I really try to remain on that.
I've noticed that you've figured out the logistics of social media, how you can profit off of it and leverage it to be into rooms that you're on now and to get you a little money. So do you think it's, in your opinion, the percentage of like personality and knowing what you're doing logistics wise?
It's 100% your personality. I value authenticity, and I always tell myself, like, anytime I'm making a video, like, I'm posting it because I'm being authentic. Social media is 100% fake. And so, you know, people can put whatever they want out or make it look like, you know, they're this or that or whatever. And so for me, I've learned that me just being 100% authentic, me just pushing out organic content has gotten me just so far. And again, like, me producing the organic content and authentic content, I don't have to like keep a personification of myself like when I'm in those rooms, because I've already shown myself on social, so that when I'm stepping into these rooms, I can still just be me.
So now you graduated from Oakwood, right? We can say you're at the height, like you're here, feeling yourself.
Yeah.
But then you make the decision to move to LA. No apartment, no job, $2,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that I was gonna follow my dreams. It was tough, honestly, from going to college and, you know, me being a quote unquote like noticeable figure in school, Mr. Oakwood, leadership, this, that, to graduating college, not having a solidified job. All my friends either starting their careers or going to higher education, so going like getting their masters or whatever. And honestly, I felt at a low. Like after I graduated, I was just like, dang, what am I gonna do with my life? And I knew what I wanted to do with my life, but I just had a plan for, you know, myself. You know, I had an internship with a producer for a little bit, for 2 years. And it was a lot of like broken promises. Like they were like, okay, you know, once you graduate, you're going to get a job with me. And so I was kind of just banking on that. I was like, oh yeah, like after I graduate, I'm moving out to LA. I'm getting this job, you know, as the executive assistant for this high-end producer. And once graduation started rolling around and I started sending these emails and text messages to, you know, said producer, it was crickets. I just made the decision to move out to LA. I feel like you can't grow in spaces that you're comfortable in. I was terrified, but I was like, you know, if other people can do it, I can do it as well. I have a couple connections out here. You know, I have this, I have that. Like, we're just gonna make it. And I was living with a couple of family friends that lived an hour away, an hour and a half from LA. And I was driving for a month. I was literally driving back and forth every day to LA, 3 hours round trip. Like just making connections, going to casting calls, like doing this, doing that. And I officially just made the leap to get an apartment. Shout out to my parents, because, you know, they made sure I was straight. So I called them. I was like, hey, you know, I'm getting ready to get this apartment. Will you guys be able to kind of just help me out for the next couple of months, you know, until I get a job, and help me pay for my apartment? They're like, you know, we got you. I signed the lease January 30th. Yeah. And I got a call February 1st from a producer for my first show. And they're like, hey, we heard about you. We want you to work on this show. At the time, I didn't know what it was. It was a phone call from Kevin Hart and Will Packer's team, which is crazy because months before, or years before, Will Packer was somebody that I spoke like that I want to work with. I had no prior experience working in a writer's room, production, like nothing like that. But they saw something in me and they hired me. And that's how I was able to pay my first month's rent, because that job. And yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's God's favor.
No,
right
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
There's a quote here by you that I'd like to read. It's actually a good quote about risk. Heavy hitting journalism here, guys.
Yeah,
it says,
she
and
doing
I
her big
quote,
one.
without risk, there is no reward. And if I didn't risk moving out to LA, I would not be living my dreams. How has that quote upheld itself?
That's good,
today?
Austun. Wow, that's early LA Austun. He was so optimistic.
Would you consider yourself living your dreams right now?
Yes, I do consider myself living my dreams. I think I've gotten a little complacent though. Everybody is out here like doing their big ones and like doing this, and like me working with such like high-end people. I felt like I've gotten a little complacent a little bit. I'm working right now on a show called Bel Air. And I've literally wanted to work on that show since it was announced back in like, I think it was announced back in 2021 or something like that. And then fast forward to a couple years later, I'm literally helping produce that show, and I'm like kicking it with the cast, and like me and Morgan are cool now. So Austun 2-3 years ago is looking at Austun 2-3 years now and like, dang, like you're doing what you got to do. Now I'm just like, I'm living my dream. I have to remind myself every day, like, Austun, like, you prayed for this, you're here.
Yeah.
A lot of people would love to be in the position that you're in right now. Like, don't like give up. Don't think that this is an end all be all in a sense. Consistency is difficult because you have to keep finding shows. And so our show's getting ready to wrap right now. So I'm just like, dang, like, what's the next move? And I'm very much like a planner and I have to know what's going on next. But I feel like in this season of my life, God is like, you don't need to know because I know. So you just got to chill. I look at myself when I first moved out here and like all the risks that I was taking, like doing that. And I think now moving out here and like, I feel like I've gotten a little too comfortable in a sense where I'm like, not necessarily afraid to take risks, but I'm just like, you know, what will people think if I do this? Or like, I'm scared to do this. And I'm just like, no, Austun, like you're out here and that was a risk. You came out here to take these risks. So stop getting so comfortable and just make it happen.
Next on Growing Pains.
Being independent is asking for help. I would literally like, I would be damn near on the side of the road in a tent with a sleeping bag before I asked for some money for my apartment.